Good morning, folks. We're very excited to be here today. Hope you're catching this. We are live with Kanyini Flyover today. We're just going to go briefly here. Good morning, everyone around the world. Last week, very exciting moment in Australian space history where the Kanyini satellite, which is named by a group of high school students in Adelaide, a 6-unit CubeSat was launched from launch 11, I think it was, on SpaceX last week, and it achieved orbit. And it is actually right now, it is flying. This is the spaceship here. Here we go. This is the 6-unit satellite. And if you look up and wave, people, here it comes. Here it comes. We're going to share this tab instead because it is just flying through past. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's my satellite gone? It has disappeared. I'll share this tab instead. Sorry, where's our studio? It's all coming amok here. Here's the map. Here we go. The map. Here it is. It's right overhead. It is right overhead now. So it's just coming through. It's just past Brisbane and Sydney. And as you can see here, it is really motoring. It's a low Earth orbit satellite. On the next pass, it's going to come west of Adelaide. So, of course, this satellite was designed and built in Adelaide. I believe there's a $1.6 million state government grant there. A lot of the community around Adelaide, you've probably heard by now the slogan, Find Your Space in Adelaide. The South Australian industry down there in space and cyber are really collaborating strongly. There's a great um, community hub down there called Lot 14, which is Stone and Chalk sponsored community hub there for startups and space and all things cyber. There's a lot going on down there. But the Kanyini satellite here is a very low Earth orbit. It's a low Earth orbit satellite. It's been designed, I believe, to remotely test the capability of AI to detect bushfires. So, for example, if we're flying through here in Western New South Wales, you get a heat signature. It goes, no, that's not a car in the fire of a McDonald's car park. It's actually a bushfire just west of Coonabarabran or something like that, just as an example, right? So this would be one of the key roles that this satellite would be performing, and it's definitely a research satellite. A lot of about 3 years research and a lot of preparation gone into preparing the payload for this and putting it up in orbit. So very, very exciting stuff here. Now, what one of the interesting things about satellites is that um, ham radio operators all around the world try and pick up um, images and record the beacons as it goes overhead, right? So I think in here, if we go back to the info and we look at network observations here, um, we can see, I think I'm in the right one here. Share this tab instead. Yeah, okay. So if we look in here in network observations, I'm hoping we could see that before. We'll just go back here and make sure we did get it. So in here, the map. So this is where it is. It's just heading out past Tasmania now, and we've got that. Sorry if I missed that before. But yeah, so it's swept in over Brisbane, Sydney, just gone past Melbourne. Next pass will be over the Nullarbor when it comes over Australia. So that's it there. I might have been sharing the wrong tab there. Let me just. So when we look at transmitters, who has? Sorry, go back to the map, the info, network observations. That's what we want. So here we have, these are recent observations of this satellite. Now, obviously, the payload here, we'll show you a couple of things, but these are the recent detections. So Mr. Freddie picked it up at 9:30 or 9:18 this morning, I think that was. It's today the 23rd, 22nd. No, it's 22nd. So these ones are anticipated flyovers here. So the ham radio people community around the world, they love these CubeSats and things. They follow them and record their data. Now, in here, you'll see in this particular pass, this was a very low to the horizon one to the location of this person here. So what you'll see often is, sorry, every time I click on a link, it opens a new tab and it hasn't shared it. So let me share this tab instead now. So okay, so when we clicked on the link to bring up the data, this is the observation that we popped up. So here we have. Now it's interesting. So the observation point for this one was very low to the horizon, so it kind of passed on the person's western horizon. So they were only able to pick it up. What you can see in here is the audio and the data. Sometimes they'll upload a recording of the data. Here's the metadata that came off the recording that they can share there. So it's 9600 baud. It's got all the details in there. Now, a couple things about this. So this was it hasn't come down yet. So if we go back to maybe the previous one and go again to an earlier one, it'll have, oh yeah, you see here, yeah, oh, you can see this pass, they got some data, okay? It's a little bit of a Doppler shift as it was going over overhead there. That's what that is, I think. And you can see it was quite um, in this one. I'm just checking I've got the right tab here. Yeah. So at this observation point was particular station owner here. It came up over the northern horizon here and then flipped over and it was going away. So it was kind of this is what the view here is was going away from the point of observation here, but it was getting a bit sort of the phase angles getting a bit closer to south as it goes past. So this is what might have triggered this little thing, but you can see there were packets there that came through. Now, just a couple of things about this. So we're not stealing data off the satellite without the permission or anything. The interesting thing, the apogee, TT, and C. This is a beacon. So the hammer radio operators will look at the beacon, not the actual data. So the data in the TT and C, if you have a look at what TT and C means, is telemetry and traffic and control, I think it means. Yeah, the TT&C is the Apogee bus is the bus that the satellite is built on with the Innovore platform, and the telemetry and the that's annoying me now. I can't remember it. It's TT and C. What does it stand for again? I'll just slip my mind. Is satellite. Telemetry tracking and command. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. So telemetry tracking and command is what that TTC stands for. So what? So on the Apogee bus that's made by Innovore, I believe there's an encrypted channel there for all the downlink data, but they also, most satellites will put out a beacon, which is usually unencrypted stuff, which will give you this kind of metadata, and they'll pick up, oh yeah, we've got a waterfall of this is the waterfall tracking. So when you have, I'll show you how. Now this, you'll be very horrified with this, any ham radio people watching, because I'll just flip to the other video I have. I have a software defined radio. It's kind of sitting in my laptop. This is my little. This is the cheapest one you can buy, but it's actually a fantastic little device, and it just plugs straight into your laptop. And oh, it's getting hot. Nearly burnt my finger. So um, yeah, it does process a bit of data. So the software-defined radio is something you can use with a laptop to pull the signal. You'll need an antenna, and as you'll see, you'll be horrified by this. Ham radio ops. Um, this is my this is um, this is my L-band antenna that I built myself at home. That plugs into my little. So now this antenna. Um, It is a very this was a weekend project, okay? So it's kinda like, it's built out of balsa wood with adhesive copper film, and it's all segmented out into its little, bits, but, it it's terrible, but it was an educational project to keep me amused for hours. So L-band, of course, is a 1 to 2 gig, frequency range, whereas this is operating at 450. We'll go back to our browser here. What we should have here is 450, sorry, 400.5 megahertz. So that's the beacon transmits at that frequency, and then obviously if you have a dish that, so what a ground station will do is go, okay, oh, it's going to rise. It'll get either the altazimuth or the right ascension declination values of the positions as it comes up over the horizon, and a proper dish with the right band of antenna will track it up across the horizon and pull down the actual payload data, right? So, but what ham radio operators do is actually just look at where this is now. What you need to drive your antenna is this down here. This is called a two-line element, and the name here is, this is the satellite name, which is 98890U, and then it gives you all the metrics you need for working out the position above the horizon, and where it's basically a mathematical problem where you are as the observer and where the thing is that you're tracking, right? So it lines those two things up, and any computer program will tell you that, and that's how this two-line element converts up to this map here, which we had before, up here. So I'll go to this tab, share this tab instead. So it'll come up to this map. So the two-line element will tell you where you are, or where the satellite is based on where your observation point is. So here we can see that Kanyini is checking out Antarctica at the moment. So we've just seen the flyby through here, through Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and it's just done a pass. So down here, the ham radio operators will be all over it like a rash, and what we'll see over the next couple of hours is people who are tracking it and just go, oh, there's a new satellite up. Oh, I've got to put it on my to-do list, right? So whenever a new CubeSat gets launched, often the ham radio operators will go, oh, there's a new one, I've got to track it. So I might have another go at this on the weekend where I show you the inside of my software-defined radio, where we can actually have a look at how that actually works and what it looks like. I don't have the right antenna or enough sensitivity on that to actually pick up the signal. I might get lucky, but you never know. If it was right overhead, and I'm not sure what the signal strength is. It's probably not that strong, being a little 6-unit CubeSat. So that's what's happening with Kanyini today, and we just thought we'd bring a live pass to you. Some of this data here is all very interesting. The SatNogs database is SATNOGS database is where the ham radio people coordinate, and they have all their different ground stations around the world, and they're all named there, and tell you where they are, and who's some of these will have. This is what I don't have, is a proper Yagi antenna, but we might need one of these other ones. I'm not sure yet. So the one I kind of built, which only half works because it's a very much a weekend craft job to teach me the process more than actually collect signals, is probably not going to pick it up because it's the wrong frequency. So anyway, there we go. Kanyini has reached its southernmost point on its current orbit and is starting to head north. So that's what you need to understand here. These lines, you go, oh, how's that an orbit? It goes, well, what as the Earth rotates, and when you've got a satellite that's inclined at this, it's kind of going around and around as the Earth kind of gradually rotates, and that's what the distance between these lines are. Each orbit takes about, I think, about 90 odd minutes for a low Earth orbit satellite. So yeah, a lot going on here. So congratulations to the team at Smart Cube. Down in South Australia there, the Smart Cube CRC, absolutely brilliant project. All the people around the University of South Australia who are involved in the Lot 14 community, I just thought you might like to see a live pass today. So I hope you found that interesting. I might try for a bit of a better one at home on the weekend when I've got my own software-defined radio, but I don't have 32 megabits of memory on my PC. My little hard-worked Surface Pro to show that to you. So the studio stuff comes better from a proper real PC. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We're going to just remember, if we might just turn the ticker feed on here for a second. We'll go back to our we'll stop sharing our screen. Stop sharing. We'll come back to the view. We'll just drop the ticker feed in here for a couple of laps here to show you a couple of big things coming up. We've got the missing persons capture the flag hackathon on the 13th of September. So tickets are sold out in every state, I think. Maybe I know in Sydney, Melbourne, and Canberra, definitely sold out. Not sure. I think there are still tickets left in Perth, so you can always jump on a plane, fly to Perth, and go and register for that. Also, big shout out. I'm hearing lots of positive feedback about the amazing Rock On conference in Brisbane on Tuesday. I was very sad that I wasn't there, but I had important things to do in Melbourne. But sounds like everyone's reporting it was absolutely fantastic conference, and that is just a real credit to the organisers. A couple of the sponsors there, I think it was Sakura, Redwood Security, and Tarian Cyber. They were the great sponsors who put up the dough for that one, and that was absolutely awesome. So really, I'm going to make sure I'm there next year, because a lot of my good buddies in Brisbane were there and I was not. so it was a bit, yeah, it's great seeing everyone else having a great time, but there's a new rule in 24. If there's a space conference on, I kind of would want to be there if I can. So anyway, so on the weekend we might try up my funky little L-band antenna that I built. It's absolutely terrible, but we'll have a go, even though it's the wrong frequency. And I'll probably have to take it outside and not try and use it through the ducting in my roof. That always helps. If you get out into the barbecue area and use your antenna where you have a clear view of the sky, it does tend to work much better. So anyway, we'll just check in on Kanyini one more time before we go. We're going to share our Kanyini here. Share. It's coming. We had a look at it. It's swept in past Brisbane and Melbourne, and it's down down here now, heading up towards Rio de Janeiro is the next stop for Kanyini. Once again, absolutely fantastic mission, all Australian project, great. Got launched on, as you can see in the ticker there. I think I've got the details in the ticker feed for where it launched. It was, I think it was when the ticker feed comes through. I think it was mission 11, launch 11 or something, which I think. Where's it going here? Yeah, I think it was mission 11 from, I don't know, went from Cape Canaveral. I think this is where, yeah, so Kanyini has launched, which was flawless liftoff, yes, with, so yeah, there were 100 satellites in there. So it had company on the way up. There was a lot of little CubeSats and things that went up, and SpaceX delivered them to space, and they all. I've often made the jokes in the past about throwing CubeSats out the window of the International Space Station, which is a very cheeky way of referring to it. They usually have an arm that's part of the payload of the SpaceX, and it's got all of them lined up, and then they run down the arm and get launched. So saying that they're thrown out the window is a bit of a exaggeration on my part. But yeah, so that's it for today. A nice little pass over Melbourne in broad daylight. So not that we'd ever get to see it. It's a tiny little one. So I'm not sure even if we was passing through the shadow zone just after dusk whether we'd actually see it at all. But certainly on your iPhone you will have great little applications like this, which show you where every satellite is, and you can kind of download that, and you can program it for certain satellites and things, and you can get alerts, and the visible ones when they come overhead will give you an alert and go, oh, it's going to be visible. So the ones to watch for are the International Space Station when it's in the right spot at the right time. Every couple of weeks it does a usually really bright pass over somewhere near you. So it's a good way to look up and learn about space. And of course, space cyber is an emerging growing field in cybersecurity, the connection of space into our cyber domain. So the way it's described is there are, earth, land, land, sea and air, 3 domains on the ground. And then you have space, which is the 4th domain, and then cyber kind of ties it all together, because all of those domains and all the architecture and infrastructure in those domains need to be protected. So that's why space cyber is very much coming together as part of that 5 domains. We've got the Australian Space Agency, we've got the Australian Space Defence Agency coming together. So all of that is a very highly collaborative arena now, and a lot of the thought leadership is coming out of South Australia and Adelaide around that as well. So that's great. So Australia has launched a satellite. It's not the first one we've launched. We've had, if you see in my blog, some of the other space launches we've had around Australia. NASA are launching from the Northern Territory now, sounding rockets. We've had the Gilmore Space Centre near Bowen in Queensland has launched some communication satellites from there. And there's the Whalers Bay, I think, in South Australia has launched some polar and high inclination orbit satellites from down there as well, or will be in the near future. So there's a lot happening in space in Australia. Australian space industry is literally on fire, launching and going places, and we're shooting for the stars, aiming, and getting past low Earth orbit. That's the first goal. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you today. I'm very excited about it. I've sewed the Kanyini patch on my new. There's a new patch on my space jacket now, where I've got the patch from the mission, which I've been carrying around in my pocket for, or having put aside for over a year. So it was great to get the iron out and iron it onto my jacket this week, and I'm going to make sure we stitch it on properly as well in this weekend. So that was my little milestone, getting the patch put on my jacket as well. So next time you see me at a space conference, you'll be able to see that. So anyway, that's probably about it for now. So hope everyone's having a great day out there. Always look up and be amazed by the universe around you, and know that space is a domain. As John F. Kennedy said, that can be a hazard to us all, but is good for us to explore, and it's worthy of our pursuit and conquest. So that's what President John F. Kennedy said in 1962 in September 12th, Rice University, and you can see a little clip of that on my blog as well. So that's when the space race began. Space race is still going, and the best races are the one where there's no finish line and you just got to keep pushing yourselves all the time. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. We will catch you up again soon. We might do another one of Kanyini on the weekend. We'll see how this goes and see if people are interested in that. And next time I'll probably try and have my little software defined radio up as well. I don't think we'll get any signal because I just don't have the right antenna, unless I race out and buy a nice little Yagi on the weekend. We'll see how we go. So thanks for joining us today. That's about the third time I've wrapped up, so I better put on the screen and say goodbye.